Hey, 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 welcome back, everyone. This is Scootsy16 with another game from the Elite Discord tournament. If you've been following along, you've been witnessing some really great baseball, and we find ourselves with another round of games in the tournament, and we're back to the Buzzwings and the Sewer Sneaks. And if you were watching this, you know that the Buzzwings were the team that I drafted. The Sewer Sneaks were drafted by the AI, and we had a heartbreaker in the first one as we lost. We lost that game 5-3, and definitely one that we had. Offense got a little quiet, and our pitching kind of made a couple of mistakes that we wish we could get back, and that absolutely was a game we could have won. So let's see if we can come back and fight off these sewer sneaks and make sure that we can move ourselves forward in this tournament. So we'll go ahead and jump right into this one, starting with the sewer sneaks lineup to see what they're looking like today. Starting with Trevor Wiggins, Trevor being their second baseman today and their number three overall draft pick. I think saw a good amount of him in the first game. Next is Elijah Kelly, who actually pinch hit in the first game, so he didn't get the start. He's playing left field, which is secondary position. Elijah was drafted all the way down in the 21st round, but as we saw yesterday, that you can be a late round draft pick, or not yesterday, the last game that we played. Genevieve Holloway, who's not going to be playing today, made a huge impact for the Sneaks, and she was Miss Irrelevant in this draft. So it doesn't matter where you're drafted in this tournament because everyone is that good. As we keep moving forward, you see Linfield Harden, all about the bat. There, he's going to be playing first base today, eighth round draft pick. Rylan Reed had a pretty decent game despite that whiffer trade. She'll be playing third once again, and she was drafted in the 11th round. Andres Rilo will be DHing today. Andres was drafted. Where were you drafted? Andres was all the way in the 17th round. We'll see if we can get him down or get him, keep him from getting on base. Next, Jamie Cook, who led off the game. He's their captain, the number one pick for this team, and he led off the game last time, and now he's all the way down in the sixth spot. So not sure what the conversation was with the coach there after that last game, but we'll see how that plays out. Next, you see Marty Chernley. Marty, I don't recall playing last time, but I could just be remembering incorrectly. Now, Marty is the starting shortstop and was the 14th round draft pick for the Sneaks. And then Raina Barnstormer will be in the eighth spot again, or at least she was at the bottom of the order. She's their right fielder. Raina was drafted in the 10th round, actually. And then lastly, Marvin Dominguez gets the start today instead of Chang, who was the starter in the last game. Wyatt Chang gets the day off. Marvin Dominguez came in late in that game, but he'll be getting the start today. And for the Sneaks, their starting pitcher today is Lennox McGribbons. This is a very interesting player that we kind of collectively in the Discord server during this draft kind of watched fall. He was actually drafted in the ninth round, and I think despite those, or I think if he didn't have those traits, we probably would have seen him drafted much earlier, as he is a really good pitcher on talent alone, with his two fastballs and two off-speed pitches to couple with his extremely great velocity and junk. His accuracy is slightly above average. We've seen that pitchers can be effectively wild, but those traits kind of just scared us off. And at a certain point, I think the Sneaks just pounced on a good pitcher. So he's going to be their number two starter. He does have easy jumps at tier two, and he has crossed up at tier one, which means that because they put so much emphasis on the scholarly traits, we likely won't see any pitches crossing up the catcher today, as it's only a 1.5% chance. It's always low, but he's definitely the lowest chance that they have of having it happen. Heading over to the Buzzwings, let's go ahead and take a look at what their lineup is going to look like. Again, we have leading off Liam Undermeyer. Had a decent game. Captain needs to make sure he shows up here today for this team. We need a big win today, and we'll hope we can get it done. I want to check really quick. I apologize. I just want to see Lennox is a righty, so we'll see how that plays out with some of these traits. Next, you see Jillian Fisher. She had a huge game in 3 plate appearances, 2 solo shots, and a walk. So she's locked in, and we're going to hope to see her hot streak continue in this one. Next, you see Landon Stone will get the start and the DH spot today, and he will be all about that hitting in the 3 spot as a DH. We'll see how he plays. I think he got 1 at bat, he got a hit, but wasn't able to do much else. Next, you see Keegan Howell. He did not have a great game. He gets that power versus righty boost in this one, so we'll see how that helps him, as it is a plus 20 to his power, which makes him a much more formidable offensive weapon. In the 5 spot is Pork Nelson. We saw him come up with that RBI hero trait a couple of times. Unfortunately, it didn't play out as well as we would have liked. He's actually going to be catching today, as he was in the DH spot last time. So we'll see if he can continue to hit well, and we'll see if he can hold up well behind the plate, which always a little scary when you see that fielding rating so low there. Next is Kamari Butler. We saw him play in the last one, and Kamari will be playing left field once again. He gets contact versus righties activated in this one as well. Next, Furtive Wood. He came in towards the end of the game, but didn't get the start. He's going to be playing right field over Zeke Green, who I think he had a pretty good game, so I'm surprised that he's not starting today. But we'll see what he can do when he actually gets the start. He's not the greatest fielder, but he is a really great hitter there at the bottom of the order in the 7 spot. Kayla Carter, she was in the 3 spot in the first game. She drops down significantly after a rough game. So we'll see if now that the spotlight isn't on her, that maybe she can settle in just a little bit better. And then lastly, Tessa North, our third baseman, held down the fort there at the corner infield spot pretty well. We'll see if she can get the bat going as well. And lastly, starting for the Buzzwings will be number 2 starter Montgomery Landry. The lefty comes in with pretty solid accuracy, pretty solid velocity, slightly above average junk. He's got 4 pitches, 2 fastballs, a 4-seam and a 2-seam, a slider, and a changeup. No traits on him. So we'll see how this plays out for this Buzzwings pitching staff in this one. We only saw Habibi pitch from the bullpen, so the rest of that bullpen is pretty well stocked and should be ready to go. We do have 2 long relievers there as well, so I'm hoping that Landry doesn't stay in too long, but hopefully he can be effective for as long as possible. Ooh, we get a night game today, folks. So tonight, as here comes the Sewer Sneaks and the Buzzwings. Again, the Sneaks have the lead in the series, up 1-0, but we're going to see if they either decide, or if they're able to hold on to the lead, or if the Buzzwings have something to say about it. All right, so leading off is Trevor Wiggins, their number 3 draft pick. Got some pretty good hitting stats, so we'll see how these matchups play out. We'll see how well that Landry can do. And he starts off with 3 pitches and the strikeout, so really great start for him. Here comes Elijah Kelly, that 21st round pick. Got a base hit in his 1 pinch hit at bat in that first game, and he is a great hitter, so he's somebody we have to be careful about. Throws his first ball of the game, and it's now 1-2 count. And Elijah Kelly puts a huge charge into that one. It bounces right off the wall, perfectly played by Undermeyer, and that ball got to the wall, but was able to get it in fast enough. That was kind of one of those situations where you're like, he hit it too hard, which you never usually say, but in that case, it ended up backfiring on him. But it is a base hit, and that ball goes to, oh, what a play by Butler. I thought that was going to bounce awkwardly off the wall. We saw in the Arctics and oh my God, why am I drawing a blank right now? The Prowl. We saw the Arctics and Prowl, and they kind of have that same fence there at the Swagger Center. And I thought it was going to be a trouble spot for Butler, but he was able to make that catch. And so with 2 outs, they get another base hit here. So now they have 2 runners on. for Andres Rilo. And Andres, he did not get a chance to play in that first game. I couldn't recall. He's DHing today, and Andres, as the 17th round pick, gets an opportunity to see what he can do in this game. He does have off-speed hitter, but it is not. It's at its minimum boost. He has good contact ratings, and he has slow poke, which only affects him out of the box. But even then, it's at its minimum debuff. Puts a charge. That one goes way foul. He swung way early on that one, and Landry's trying to get out of this one unscathed, and he gets the line out to Howell to end the inning. So the Sewer Sneaks, they're starting to make some noise already. They had got 2 hits in that one, but both runners left stranded. And now the Buzzwings, now they have to figure out a new way to get to this Sneaks pitching staff, as their offense just did not show up the way that they should have and they wanted to. So did they make any adjustments? We'll see with Undermeyer here out of the gate. And he puts that one on the ground right to Harden at first. Easy out number 1. Jillian Fisher had an amazing first game. And we'll see if she can continue her torrid pace as she swings through strike 1 there. She's locked in. She takes ball 1. Ball 2 outside. 2-1 count. And holy moly, can we believe, is that an upper, holy shit, the third deck, and Jillian Fisher, oh my god, and 3 at-bats, that one's 449, 3 at-bats, 3 home runs, only 3 RBIs because no one has been on base when she has done this, but she is now 3 for 3 with 3 home runs. Have we seen anything like this before? Oh my gosh, Jillian Fisher. What a way to start this game. And the Buzzwings take the early 1-0 lead. Now, of course, that means nothing until we get to the end of this game. We'll see if Landon Stone can follow that up, as he looks really silly on that pitch. And he swings through strike 3. And that pitch that was a little slow coming in, but he was way ahead of it. Now here comes Keegan Howell with 2 outs, and you can see that power versus righties is activated here, so his hitting attributes just got that much better. Now, ironically, it's his best out of the 3 there. 1-2 count with 2 outs. McGribbons throws ball 2. He's trying to get out of this with just the 1, and he is able to, as he ends up striking out. Oh, I'm sorry, he strikes out the last 2 batters that he faces there. But on 1 hit from Fisher, we get another home run. And, you know, you wonder at what point are we going to get a runner on base for her so that she can make some more noise. But we'll take what we can get, and the Buzzwings have the early 1-0 lead. And let's see if Landry can settle in now that he's got that run support. And we do see that Little Hack gets activated here for Jamie Cook, the captain. And he keeps fighting off those pitches. That one goes foul down the left field line. And that ball gets right past Landry's glove as he's reaching down. It just kind of flicks the laces on his glove, and it's able to get into center field for the base hit. So they got something going already with Cook on first base, and he's got some pretty solid speed. Now, Port Nelson behind the plate is a good catcher. He's not a great catcher, so he's got a solid arm, but it's oh boy. I was going to say it may not be good enough for these runners, but as I say that, we see that ball get over that tall wall in left field, and Chernley gets his first home run of the tournament, 404 feet above that super high wall in left field, and it is now a 2-1 ball game for the Sewer Sneaks, and you can hear my energy shift significantly. I have much more invested in these games against these 2 teams versus any of the other games that we watch, and I just hope that we can keep the offense going and get something figured out, as Barnstormer on a 3-1 pitch pulls that one right down the line, and Cannon Arm activates for Furtive Wood there in right field, but the runner is not going, so it's just going to be a single for Barnstormer, and now here comes the 9-hitter Marvin Dominguez with no outs, giving up 3 consecutive hits as Landry, and he's tense. And that ball bloops into right center field, and Furtive Wood is able to get to it quick enough, and he tosses it in. The runner does have to retreat, so we finally get the first out to end the bleeding just a little bit. But there's a lot more work that Landry's going to have to do, as this game is far from over, as we're only in the second inning. So here comes Trevor Wiggins wrapping around to the top of the order, and he's tense. I believe this might have been after his first at bat. I think it was after he struck out on 3 pitches. 1-2 count here. He does not chase high, but he chases high there, and he gets the strikeout once again. So that one a swinging strike, and he's having a tough start to this game, and you hope that that kind of infects the rest of this team if you're a Buzzwings fan. And here comes Elijah Kelly, who again got a base hit in his last at bat. So he's still perfect at the plate. So with the runner on, 2 outs, 3-1 count. This doesn't look good for Landry. He's still tense right now, already at 42 pitches. And that ball pops up to left center field, and it's going into the corner, but it's going to be just foul. And Butler made an effort to jump for that one, but it's just not in a good spot for him. The runner will be going here with the full count, 2 outs, and that ball flies into center. Lundermeyer easily camps under that one for out number 3. So not his best outing so far, as Landry does give up the 2-run homer to Chernley, the shortstop for the Sewer Sneaks. So we'll see if the offense can get it sorted out again. Pork Nelson coming up first here. He did not get a hit in his first game. He did, however, get a sacrifice fly for one of those runs that they scored in the first game. But he definitely needs to sort things out here against McGrimmons. Unfortunately, he thought that ball was low, and he just took that one right down the middle for strike 3. So first out here, and he's having a tough day, and we'll see if Kamari Butler could come around and pick him up, as he's got that contact boosted against McGribbons, the righty. And that ball hit hard to left center field. It's going to be right on the edge of the warning track, as Kelly went back to the wall, but then kind of came back in to settle himself. So with 2 outs, here comes Furtive Wood. He got a base hit and a pinch hit appearance in the first game, and he gets another base hit here as he swings at the first pitch, and it goes through the left side right past Rylan Reed for the first hit of this inning for the Buzzwings. And Kayla had an abysmal first game. We'll see if she's able to right the ship a little bit here. And she grounds that one weakly to the first baseman, who's able to just pick it up and step on the bag, and that's a mojo drop for Carter, who has been having a really tough series. And I was excited about bringing her in, but it has just not panned out the way we would have expected it to so far. Now, McGribbons is having a pretty good start to this game, despite giving up that solo shot to Fisher. That's the only second hit that he was able to allow. But here comes Landry. Once again, he's tense, and we're seeing if he can get a much easier inning for himself as he induces another pop-up. That one flying out to right field, and Wood easily gets that one and reels it in. So here comes Rylan Reed, who's locked in after the base hit in her first at-bat. She comes back around here in the 4 spot to see what she can do, and hopefully it's not much. And Landry's still tense. We're not sure when he's going to be able to break out of that. And the pop up in the foul territory, Nelson's able to range over there and make the catch. He was moving slow. I didn't know if he was going to get to it in time, but he does make the catch for out number 2. So far the Sewer Sneaks have gone quietly in here in the third, and immediately induces a ground ball to Kayla Carter, and Landry settles in that third inning, not allowing a hit, 3 up, 3 down, and he's able to get out of that tense mojo back to neutral. And now the offense has to pick him up. I have a sneeze sneaking up on me, so if you hear me mute for a second, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. And that ball gets hit really hard, but Cook is able to catch that one just shy of the wall in deep center field, just to the left of dead center. Um, and so we lose an opportunity there, and we wrap back around to the top of the order with Liam Undermeyer. He grounded out to first in his first at bat. We really need him to pick things up. He's now in a 1-2 count, so tough out is activated. And that ball gets just over Ryland Reed. It just misses her glove, and he's able to get the base hit here. Now, he's got a lot of speed, and Dominguez is the better of the two catchers. So this will be interesting to see if they try to run. The last time this happened with Jillian Fisher up, they ran into an out before she hit a home run. So maybe, and she ironically gets her first hit that's not a home run, just a single. What a disappointment. Uh, she's still perfect at the plate, and that single actually advances Undermeyer to second. And now we have a runner in scoring position for Landon Stone. And this has been really the first rocky inning that McGribbons has seen thus far here through 3 innings. He's at pitch 37. There was pitch 38. Now with a 1-2 count, Landon Stone, he takes ball too low. If he gets a fastball, he might try to do something with it, and McGribbons tries to track Undermeyer there at second. He's not going. And he chases that ball, and oh boy. Oh. He swings at a really bad off-speed pitch, and he grounds it right back to McGribbons, who's able to turn the double play to get out of the inning. So we had something working for us there, and he just got bailed out on a pitch that I think Stone just got a little antsy and chased after, and he probably shouldn't have done that. But, hindsight being 2020, easy for us to say sitting here watching the game. That ball gets hit hard. Undermeyer is able to get to that quickly right there at the edge of the warning track for out number 1. That one looked a little scary off the bat, but luckily we play in a pretty decently deep park, so those balls can stay in. Now, I'd say it's decently deep to center, but it's definitely more shallow on the left and right field walls. And that ball lined straight to Tessa North there at third base, and she's able to catch that on a line for out number 2. Here comes Barnstormer, who got a base hit in her first at bat, and she grounds to the pitcher. 1-2-3 once again. So Landry may have found a groove that he's settled into, as he's just gone back-to-back innings going 1-2-3. So now the offense has to step up and support him here with a tense Keegan Howell coming up, and he still gets that power versus right-hander boost, but we're gonna see if he can start figuring things out on offense, as he's only gotten, I think, 1 hit in the series so far. 1-2 count for him. And he swings through strike 3, and McGribbons is feeling it as he waves by to Howell as he walks back to the dugout. And that's got to light a fire under you if you're a Pork Nelson, and hopefully he can get his first hit of the series. 1-1 count here. Takes ball too high, doesn't even flinch. Doesn't flinch there on a ball in the zone. Working the count through full now. And he swings at that one, and Harden makes a hell of a diving play to his right for the catch on a line for out number 2. So we're down to 2 outs here, and we'll see what Butler is able to do, as he has not gotten a hit in this series either. He does have contact and Little Hack activated as he pops that one foul. Two strikes on him already. He does not chase the ball in the dirt there, but he chases that ball high and out of the zone for strike 3. So Buzzwings fans, don't worry, you're not alone in your frustration, as this offense is essentially solely run through Jillian Fisher, which is great to see her succeeding, but really it can't look like this if we're expecting to win this series and make it anywhere in this tournament. So Landry, seeing what he can do, as he's starting to get pretty gassed here, now up to 64. This will be 65th pitch of the game for him. And again, this is where I feel like, can we pull him for somebody else? 2-2 count. He's had a good couple of innings here, but man, this is not what you want to see his attributes look like as he's playing against these incredibly great teams. As that ball bounces off the wall, and a great play for Undermeyer as he was able to line up that angle right off the top of the wall in left center, or I guess dead center. And that's just a base hit. And please pull Landry. Thank you. So Class Thicket, one of my favorite pitchers that we drafted here, has max clutch. He also has an elite curveball. He's a long reliever with 3 pitches, the 4-seam, the slider, and that elite curveball. And with the max pressure situation, he comes in, and that's the guy you want to see as he gets the strikeout there. That Class was drafted. Let's take a look at the information here. He was drafted in the 13th round, so he fell pretty close. But I think that was the first time we saw him pop up, and I immediately nabbed him the moment I had a chance to, as I was not going to let a guy like that go. So 0-2 count, 1 out, runner on first, and gets the swinging strike, and that's that elite curveball at play. And they're getting really frustrated, but hopefully he can keep this going against Linfield Harden. He's 0 for 2 today, but he has those really great hitting traits, and you hope that he's not due yet. That ball just goes foul down the line as it gets over Stone's head. And that ball just goes foul. I'm sorry, not Stone. It goes right over Kayla Carter's head. And that ball, he finally pulls one, and it stays fair. And another cannon arm gets activated for Furtive Wood. As you can see, he's a little excited to get that ball in. So 2 runners on now for Rylan Reed. She did have a huge 2-run homer in that first game, and you hope she's not ready to... Okay, great. She grounds out to Fisher, and Fisher tosses a Carter. Even though the noodle arm activates there, it does not play a negative impact on that one. So with 2 runners on, Class Thicket was able to get out of the inning, only allowing 1 hit. And Furtive Wood comes up, base hit in his last at-bat. And that one's going to left center field, and that's going to get off the wall. And it's got there so quickly, Cook was, that it has to be held to a single. So really great start to this inning. And here comes Kayla Carter, and she is hitless for the series so far, and would be a perfect time for her to find her first hit. She is tense, and when your mojo is affected, it gets an extra boost when the pressure is this high. So you see her attributes are even lower. Checking on Wood over there at first base. He's not going right now. And that ball gets away from Dominguez, as it was a wild pitch there, and I don't know if that was crossed up, activated, but love to see it hit there. And that ball gets crossed up, and Dominguez gets another ball gets away from him, back-to-back pitches that puts the runner in scoring position with no outs. And now the walk from Kayla Carter gets her mojo back boosted to neutral. And now we have runners on the corners with no outs, and here comes Tessa North. And honestly, the last thing that we want to see here is a double play. And McGribbons finally gets the hook as Turncoat comes in. He gets ahead activated, but Easy Jumps is also on Turncoat as well. So Marlon Turncoat, really great velocity and junk, but low accuracy. He only gets that boost on that first pitch of the at-bat. With his, we talked about not getting I guess we didn't get a double play because the runner was going on the hit, and Furtive Wood, again, getting too excited, gets caught into a rundown. Now, I think that might have actually been beneficial as we're coming to the top of the order, and a double play would have been much worse for us, even with a run scored. I guess we want that tie. So I guess I would have rather Wood wait a second before he started going, but again, hindsight, 2 runners on, 1 out, and here comes Undermeyer. This would be a great time for the captain to step up. And he does. That ball, is it, can it, will it, it's getting out of here. And Liam Undermeyer, the captain, steps up for the Buzzwings. It goes to deep center field, 410, into the shrubbery, in the batter's eye, and it is a new ball game for the Buzzwings, 4-2. The Buzzwings take the lead in this game against Marlon Turncoat, and McGribbons has to be pissed over there on the bench. I think, yep, he actually just went down into the tunnel. He doesn't want to see any more of this. He's frustrated. And as we're excited about that home run, we see that Jillian Fisher just got her first out of the series as she lines out to the second baseman. Didn't get a chance to catch up all of you. Marlon Turncoat was drafted in the 16th round of this draft for the Sewer Sneaks, in case anyone was wondering there. And here comes Landon Stone, 2-2 count. Does not chase that one way out of the zone. And takes that one for ball four, just high and out of the zone. And so with 2 outs now, Keegan Howell comes up. He's tense now. We saw Kayla Carter get out of her tense mojo with a walk in that last at bat for her. Let's see if Howell can do something to get out of his tense mojo here too. And that power versus righties is still activated here. And tense Marlon Turncoat gets him to chase high. Runner goes and fouls that one off. And that ball pops up to right behind second base, and Wiggins is able to catch that one for out number 3. But huge at bat for Undermeyer when we needed him to step up the most. He wasn't able to do it in the first game of the series. You could see that the pressure in this game is just getting to these players so much more. Howell gets his mojo boosted there, so even though he couldn't get the hit and he popped up, he makes a tremendous leaping catch that saves potentially an extra base hit for the Sneaks as he's able to get that out on a line for number 1. And then Fisher stabs at that one right above the grass for out number 2. So some great plays by the middle infield. And here comes Chernley, who made the difference in this game for most of the game so far, as he got that home run to left center field in his first at-bat. I believe it was first at-bat. So Thicket comes in. It's 1-2 count with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. That ball pops up to left center field. Can Undermeyer get to it? He does not make the diving attempt. Maybe that's a smart decision to keep the runner on first base with 2 outs. And they do get a hit here. And again, we see that max clutch coming in for Class Thicket. And Raina Barnstormer did get a hit. She charges that one. It's going to deep center field, but it holds up for Undermeyer. And the Buzzwings come up and take the lead to tie the series. Oh my gosh, what a game. Undermeyer has to be the player of the game for that one. What an exciting one we got to see here today. There wasn't a ton of offense. Thankfully, after that first couple of innings for the Sneaks, I thought that Landry was going to have a really tough game, but he was able to settle in. So recapping this game, we see 2 runs on 8 hits and 0 errors for the Sneaks. We see 4 runs on 6 hits and 0 errors for the Buzzwings. They didn't do a lot, but they did enough. Now, if we take a look at the lineup, starting with the Sneaks, we see Wiggins went 0 for 3. He was tense today. Rilo went 0 for 3 in his debut in this game. He did not have a good one. We see Kelly got a hit. Harden got a hit. Reed got a hit. Jamie Cook got a hit. Barnstormer, Dominguez, all with base hits. Chernley 2 for 3. One of them being that 2-run homer. And we thought for a second that was going to be the difference in this game, but it was not. As we shift over to the Buzzwings, we see that big guy, Liam Undermeyer, Mr. Trout Jr. here, was able to come up huge, 2 for 3 today with that 3-run homer, followed by Jillian Fisher, who got a solo shot there in the first inning. She went 2 for 3 as well. Stone, Howell, Pork, Butler, Carter, and North all went hitless today. A lot of struggling bats in this lineup. Furtive Wood, getting his first start, went 2 for 2 today as well. We do see that Stone and Carter both got a walk as well, which is good to see. But yeah, this offense needs to sort things out, as 4 runs is not going to cut it on a regular basis, especially as we've seen some of the talent in the rest of this tournament. So we're happy with what the results look like today. Looking over the pitchers for the Sneaks, we see McGribbons went 4 innings, giving up 5 hits and 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and a home run given up. That was the one to Fisher. He actually allowed one of those hits before Turncoat came in, and Turncoat pitched 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, 2 earned runs, a walk, and that 3-run shot, he gets the loss. So you'll see that it was a 3-run shot that Turncoat gave up, but one of those runners that was on base was allowed by McGribbons before he came out, and that's how that's all set up. On the right side here, you see the Buzzwings. I'm sorry, Marvin. Uh, all these Marvin, Marlin guys. This is Montgomery Landry. Went 4 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts. He gave up a 2-run shot, and it looked really shaky there in the first couple of innings, but he was able to settle in and get through the next 2 innings unscathed. Next, we see Class Thicket come in. He went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, got 2 strikeouts. He gets the win, and he deserved it. He is one of the best pitchers, I think, is going to be very valuable for the Buzzwings in this series, and he's a long reliever. So hopefully that gives him more action in this one. So with that being said, the players of the game will be the 3 that scored the runs in this one. So Liam Undermeyer with a huge go-ahead home run in the bottom of the 5th inning to take the lead, 3-run shot. Next, you see Marty Chernley with a 2-run homer that had the Sneaks the lead for most of that game. And Jillian Fisher got the scoring started with her home run. She did get her first out of the series. She's now 2 for 3, and she was also able to get a base hit. So of her 4 hits of this series so far, 3 of them are home runs. So just a wild experience for this one for her. And we'll see that if her hot pace can continue, and maybe it'll rub off on some of those other players in that Buzz Wings lineup. So recapping the first 2 go rounds here in the first quarterfinals round of this tournament, you'll see that the Thumpers have a 2-0 lead in their series. They're going to go for the clinching game against the Overdogs in the next one. You see that the series is tied 1-1 everywhere else. The Arctics and Prowl have both gone through their own pitching gems from their teams, as the Prowls won 2-0 and then lost 3-0 against the Arctics. So we'll see where that series goes, forcing at least 4 games. Next, the Dirt Dogs. That's been a very interesting series, probably the most entertaining out of all 4 of these, especially if you enjoy offense. The Dirt Dogs gave up the extra innings affair to the Lockhorns on a grand slam there, and then they ended up coming back to winning the second game 8-6. And that one, you still felt like the Lockhorns could figure it out and come back. So we'll see how this all plays out. Again, that one forcing at least 4 games. And then lastly, you see the Sewer Sneaks. We had a pretty unfortunate game 1, losing 5-3. We come back and win this one huge 4-2. We'll see what we can do as we are going through 4 games for sure. And we'll see how the rest of this tournament comes out. Who do you think? Let me know in the comments, who do you think is going to advance into the next round out of these 4 teams? Let us know your predictions. Maybe do your Final 4 bracket and see who you think is going to go all the way to the finals and win it all. But thank you all so much for watching. At the end of this round, I will go ahead and do a recap of statistics and everything and compare everyone. So we'll do that after this round concludes. But thank you all so much for watching. Subscribe to make sure you're not missing any of these, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.